supposed to be her last shift. After 3 years of working the overnight graveyard slot at WZUR 103.5 FM, Claire had finally landed a job in a real newsroom in Seattle. No more late-night requests from truckers, no more weather warnings for towns nobody lived in anymore. And, thank God, no more silence that filled the booth like fog. But something about that last night felt off. She arrived at 11:30 p.m., early as always. The studio sat just off an empty stretch of road, hidden behind a shuttered diner and a cemetery that no one visited. It used to be a funeral home, and the basement still smelled like embalming fluid when the vents kicked in. The air felt heavier than usual, as if the shadows had thickened in the corners of the room. Claire slid into the booth, headphones over her ears, the red on-air light humming alive like a heartbeat. She cued her first song, an old track from the 70s, mellow and haunting, 12:03 a.m. The phone rang, unusual. Calls didn't usually come in until later. She pressed the blinking light. UZUR, you're on the air. At first, silence, then a voice, low, raspy, like breath against bone. Don't go. Claire blinked. Excuse me? Don't leave tonight. If you go, you'll never come back. Click-kai. She pulled the headphones off, frowning. Was it a prank? One of the interns, maybe? But her heart had already started to pound. She resumed the show. Songs, commercials, weather updates, the usual routine. But every time she paused to speak, she felt watched. Like someone stood just beyond the booth's glass, in the shadows where even light refused to settle. At 1:13 a.m., the emergency line rang. That line was for severe weather alerts. It never rang without cause. She answered, "Turn it off." "What?" "The tower. Turn it off. You're letting them in." Claire checked the signal. Nothing unusual. No glitches. Just static between songs. And sometimes faint whispers. Could be interference, she told herself. Rural signals crossed all the time. But the static, it began to whisper her name. Soft, lingering. Claire. Clay. She checked the booth's door. Still locked. No one there. 2:06 a.m. The music system crashed. The screen blinked out, one letter at a time, until the console read, "Get out." She stared at the screen, her breath fogging up the cold glass in front of her. Her reflection didn't fog. It just stared back, expressionless. She backed away. The hallway light flickered, then died. And in that moment, the temperature plummeted. Her breath became visible. The shadows began to move. Not like tricks of light, but with purpose. She tried to open the booth door. It wouldn't budge. Then the studio lights went out. The only sound was her own breath. And the unmistakable sound of someone breathing inside the room with her. She turned slowly. A figure stood in the corner.
Help!
Tall, thin, bones showing through torn funeral clothes, eyes missing, mouth sewn shut. A long-dead mortician, still trapped in his funeral home, angry at the voices she had awakened. The booth began to shake. Glass cracked. The soundboard sparked to life, playing the same sound over and over.
Danny.
You open the door. Now they know your name. They follow the voice. They follow the voice. They follow. She screamed, pounding the door. Finally, it opened. She ran out into the night, barefoot, crying, her car keys left behind. She never looked back, never collected her final paycheck, never spoke about it again. But WZUR didn't forget. No one replaced Claire. The booth remains dark. The station airs only static now. Except at 2:06 a.m. every night without fail. A voice whispers through the noise. Claire, come back. The show's not over. And if you tune in just right, they say you can still hear her scream.